What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we're looking at EPL Season 16 playoffs. First of all, I'm not gonna make a separate video for Ego app this time just because I've done pretty poorly so far. I'll make a lineup at the end of this video, I think, and just to show you what I'm picking, but I just don't have the same motivation to put time into this lineup just because there's really nothing to compete for. But yeah, stay tuned for that in the end if you feel like you want to watch that. Then last HLTV Fantasy didn't go that hotly. You just can't always predict which players are gonna do the best. So I had like pretty good teams. Cloud9 and Fury ended up being like the highest, like the best teams in the group. Liquid also went 3-2. So like team wise I did pretty well. But just these player picks just not working out at all. OC and Nitro being like by far the worst players on Liquid. Art was fine, but like Caserado was really insane. Yakindar was a lot better. Inters was like the only really good pick I had. Like if you look at the number one team, it had Inters and Nafani and Caserado, and then actually Woxix and Tares. I suppose they just were carrying Eternal Fire in those two games, especially where they lost and they didn't get beaten too hard in the games they lost. So yeah, let us get into the playoffs now. These are the most picked players. Carrigan, of course, you usually expect Carrigan to be quite highly picked here. Could check player price as well. Let's say, yeah, Inters was really good last stage. Monesi, really good last event. Perfecto making it in from Navi. I suppose he's just gonna be pretty good price point, just like JKS, also 190. Spinks is gonna cost you how much? 209. That's a steal, I think. I'm very much considering Spinks. Twist's also very high for 211. Makes sense. He's been really good. Generally speaking, I would say let's go check the playoffs bracket as well. So FaZe should beat Complexity. FaZe Cloud9 is pretty interesting. Like FaZe wasn't really insane in the groups or anything. Like they went 4-1. They lost to Cloud G2, but still like very solid. I still think FaZe is probably one of the favorites to win. I think favorites are the favorites to win against Cloud9 especially, and then definitely against any of these three teams. So I would say FaZe is making it to the finals. On this side, it could be Navi, it could be G2 and in some worlds, and it could be Vitality. I'm personally going to gamble on Vitality, I think. Navi just didn't impress enough. Of course, Navi are the kind of team to put their level up a notch in these playoffs. But still, I would say, yeah, I'd rather go for Vitality, I think, here. I've just got this feeling that they're gonna show up. So if I start picking players, I definitely want to have Spinks if I'm going Vitality into the finals. Then it's a question of who I want out of these players. How did Apex do so far this event? So like pretty good. Just previous events not that hot. I would do Pre and Magisk. Like Magisk really quite good. Dupree not quite as good. It's really nice rating. Like Magisk has been. How is Magisk so cheap? I guess player prices are just generally very cheap here. Like I wouldn't be too opposed to as I will pick, but we'll see how my money gets divided up. Then FaZe. Well, we don't have an Oper here, so Brokey would be a choice to go for. What do you then want to go Carrigan? I suppose. 203 grand. Who do we have as options? Like if you don't go Carrigan, you go like Rain. You have very poor options, let's put it that way. I don't hate the Carrigan pick, although he's like the most picked player. Would I then want, like, maybe rather to have Rain Zaiwu? Who can I get then? Hooksy? I'm not going with a Hooksy lineup, I don't think. That's a lot of faith in Vitality. Like, should I rather not go double phase if I go for that? Should I go like... It's so awkward because... Where are we? Here. I'd love to pick... Yeah, I wouldn't want to pick from these two teams. I think picking from at least like the fifth from these three teams seems like a really nice play. Like it could be Fnatic, Liquid Mouse. Fnatic, Liquid Mouse. Like who would my Liquid pick be? Like you could go Yakindar. I think Liquid is making it to this stage. Like you could go Yakindar as a fifth. And I wouldn't be like too mad about that one. 203. Like I'd love to have Yakindar there. I think it needs to be Dupree though if I go for that and then like twists. Like this is a pretty insane team. It's only a question of how good would Dupree play. I think Dupree is gonna end up being one of those players who just doesn't have the highest ratings anymore, just because like there's too many people who are doing a really good job on that team. Like if you have Zyvo and Spinks doing a lot of the heavy lifting, then Magisk seems to be doing very well. It's like there's not an infinite amount of space for Dupree, whose stats just haven't been as good for a while now. I guess he was like still decent in these events. Like man, this is such a good looking lineup though. We're only missing AWP. Like it would be easy headshots on twists. Easy entry on Yakindar. I guess IGL, Carrigan, Spinks CT rating, and Dupree support, I suppose. I'm just gonna go with this. I just like having twists and Spinks. And then Yakindar, even though, but it's Yakindar's like my most expensive player, and he's like a fifth. I usually don't do that, just to be sure. He's been so good for Liquid so far. He's gonna get to farm like two opponents in my eyes. Like he's gonna get to farm Fnatic and Mouse, and then yeah, I'm gonna stick with this. It's a bit of a risky play for sure. Absolutely risky. I'll check that later. Always a problem when I have just launched the PC to record a video that this pops up. Multi-kill or CT rating. This is like 86% of the time. This triggers 90%. This is actually a higher EV. The multi-fragger. Yeah, let's go multi-fragger. IGL. The Carrigan. The question is here. Support, CT rating. On paper, support is better. I guess we stay with support. I think it's fine. And then first, yeah, booster play. How many boosters do we get to play in the best case? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 plus 6 is 14, 15, 16, 17. And there's 17 boosters. So in the best case scenario, we get to use all of our boosters. Exactly. Easiest opponent, I would say, use our KST guy. Dupree. it's gonna be versus like Furia outsiders. I think that's fair. Oh yeah, I can't put the rest of the boosters on. So do complexity have aim stars? Can't remember. I don't think any. Oh, actually, Fang is really good at headshots. Okay, we're saving headshots for twists later. What could be good? Top of scorecard is always a nice one. Go Spink's top of scorecard, hoping that he's gonna top one instead of Saiwu, I guess. Yakindar also faces some pretty good competition for that in his lineup. Bait's good for later. Grenades, Yakindar later. Twist's pistol. I think that's fair. Carrigan. Carrigan clutch, yes, eventually, definitely. Probably not here. I think Flash makes more sense. And Yakindar, I mean, it's not aimbot. Is it Kobe versus Fnatic? It could be Kobe versus Fnatic. This is also him, but for later. This, but later maybe. I think Kobe makes sense. And if all of them lose first round, it really doesn't matter if they all lose. So no questions about using the Rubet booster. Okay, this is it for HLTV. I'll make the Ego app lineup now. Edit, clear. It's gonna be very similar. I wanna go for the permanently benched player, or at least mostly permanently benched. Possibly, there's always the possibility of benching Huxi. I mean, unbenching Huxi. I also have both my cells left, but doesn't really matter. Might just sit on the team I built here. Do I have? Wait, where's Spinks? Crazy cheap. I should be able to get like all the players I want from all the teams I want. Where's Vitality? There's Vitality and Phase. Twists most expensive on Phase. Rain rocks. Wait, I can't see Brokey. Where's Brokey? There's Brokey. I should be able to get like almost everything I want here. I go Rops. I have 172. Hunter. AKS is so expensive here. Bit for 178. It makes some sense. They also have like Navi actually as a 5th makes some sense. Maybe I sell Brokey, buy Bit, and then Rops and Rain and Twists. How expensive is Twists? Sorry, 189. Saiwu Spinks, Bit, Rops, Rain. How bad is this? Or maybe even like a Kindar again. I think that's gonna farm me some points. Not gonna lie, I think this is gonna farm me some points. Wait, are they even playing first round? They are not, so I shouldn't captain him first round. I suppose. Yeah, there's Tuesday first. Face complexity. Oh yeah, there's actually. I'm just not gonna make another lineup. I think this is my lineup, even though if I was tryharding, I probably wouldn't have a perma-bench player. Because there's actually like, you play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. So, no real reason to perma-bench unless you just want to have expensive players. But, so face player should be captain first day. Or Liquid. Or Yakindar. I think Yakindar maybe. But it's easier. It's an easier matchup for face. That's captain Robs. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, that's that lineup. This is the HLTV lineup, which just matters more, honestly. The one I care about a lot more. I'll show you like my full standings. It's gruesome. It's not nice to be 6 points after 5 games. Especially when I don't feel like I've made like horrible lineups in most of these. I've made some gambles maybe, but like that was really bad results. I just it's sad when your gambles don't pay off and you just even when you pick the kind of correct teams, you still don't get the correct players. It's sad, but you can't predict everything. It's never like you never can really predict everything. There's only one thing that I can do, and that's pick my best lineup for each event. If I can't do well in the season, at least I always can fight for the game-specific prizes. Would love to win one of those. But either way, this video has gone on long enough. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.